Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Emma from the O team. And if you're watching this video, then maybe it's because you've already seen my first video about eco-friendly living tips from a van, or general life as well. All of these can be applied to a house. So in this video, we've got my top 5 tips. Okay, so let's get going. Also, in case you're missing Chinaka, he does contribute to this video, so you can look forward to seeing him in a bit. So number 5 is to do with our bin situation. We have a separate bin here for dry waste. Our recycling goes in there. And then a separate bin for food or wet waste. The reason we do that is because with the dry bin, which we use just with bread bags, we're reusing the bread bags so they don't go in the bin unnecessarily. And if we're emptying it into a public litter bin, then we can just empty that and then reuse the bag again. So we're using we're using no bin liners, and we're using less plastic and reusing plastic. And the food waste, if we are visiting somebody, it's just from another big yogurt pot, by the way, again lined with a bread bag, just so I don't have to clean the yogurt pot as much. If we're staying or visiting both our mums or a friend who has a compost bin, then we can give them that on their compost, but if not, then it just goes in the bin like that. Number 4 is probably my favourite tip because I just love going to refill shops. So this is all about the things that we refill in zero waste shops. And I don't always go to the same one because obviously we're travelling around. So when I know where we are or where we're going to be, I just put into Google zero waste shop near me, and that is how you can find the local one. So I go prepared with my containers, and these are some of the containers that I have refilled things in the past. So in this lovely tin I have loose peppermint tea, which I bought ages ago. It really takes a long time to get through. Loose tea is kind of a separate option, a separate point on its own, which I haven't really going to explain in this video, but basically some tea bags are lined with plastic, and that can get infused into the water, so you are ingesting plastic, which can add to anxiety, which you don't want, obviously. So loose tea, it can go in the compost bin when you're finished with it, so that's less waste as well. Here we bought some eco-friendly washing up liquid. Now in my previous video I showed you a bar soap that we use for washing up, which I like using, but Chinaka prefers the liquid, so we kind of have both options. This needs refilling, as you can see, but we go and refill this at a zero waste shop instead of fairy liquid, because fairy liquid, if you read on the back, it will actually say that it is harmful to aquatic wildlife with long-lasting effects. So I would really, if you're not doing any of these things, the one thing I urge you to do is to stop using fairy liquid, because it is extremely damaging for wildlife, and to use an eco-friendly product, which is more expensive initially, but then when you refill, it works out at basically the same cost. Here I have my shampoo, which is not Sainsbury's shampoo like it says on the bottle. This was from my mum's house, and I took it to a refill shop, and I filled it with a Faith in Nature shampoo. I was using shampoo bars before, but I wasn't really getting on with them very well. I really tried for over a year, but I just they weren't doing the right thing for me. This shampoo from Faith in Nature is got no chemicals in it, so it's good for the planet and good for your skin. So that's the bottle that I take to refill that. Here I've got spices, which obviously, I bought initially in their containers like this, but I have taken all of these to a refill shop to get refilled. So you just have to be prepared and know what you want to go and get, and put them in your bag. It's really easy, and it worked out cheaper, so that's what we like. The last one I'm going to show you is my lentil bag. I took the bag and filled it with lentils. So again, you know, different shops have different options. Not everybody does food, but a lot of them are kind of doing liquids and food. So it really doesn't take up a lot of space in your handbag to take a bag, or even take even take a bread bag, and you could fill your bread bag with lentils or with oats. They will fill anything for you. So yeah, again, the possibilities are endless on that one. If you've got a container, take it, and you'll find something in those shops that you could fill it with.
Hello, so the next tip is solar panels, which is above the roof box. It's 2 of them. They give 220 watts both. It's 310 watts each. We found during summer, when it's really sunny, we got too much power. We got 5.3 kilowatts power, kilowatts battery in our system, which is about with 4 volts, about 230 amp hour, if you do it that way. And we found that we're getting full sun, full battery, pretty much before lunchtime. So this is better for the environment because we actually save money. We don't have to go campsite and plug in. We can just go on the road, be off grid as long as we can, as long as our fridge will let us. So it's eco that way because you don't have to keep driving the van. You just park still somewhere, and then for months on end during summer. And yeah, it's quite a good idea if you want to stay off grid longer. If you have a small battery bank, to have solar panels because it's eco, and it means you don't have to burn fossil fuels to get free power from the sun. So recommend it if you want to be eco-friendly.
This next tip is for those of you that really want to go to town with being planet friendly, and that is making your own products. So some of these I've got the recipes for on my other channel for my small business, Jep Upcycle, so I'll link them in the little thing up here or in the description below. So here are some of the things that I make. I've got dry shampoo in this jar, which I've put on today. So you can see that, you know, you can't see it in your roots or anything. This is like made of 2 ingredients. So check that link out. It's really easy to make. And you know, if you think this is bulky for the van, like, yeah, it is a little bit, you know, you could just put it in a smaller container, whatever you have. The other thing I make is deodorant, and yeah, so you do need ingredients for these things, but they last so long. I made a batch of deodorant when we moved into the van 6 months ago, and it's, you know, I need to make another batch now, but I keep all the ingredients at my mum's house so I don't have to carry them around. So next time we visit there, I'll just go make some there, and it lasts me long enough until the next visit. The other thing I do is, in my other video you might have seen me show you the bar soap. So, you know, when you're using soap, it gets to a point where it's so small that you can't really kind of like use it very effectively on your body anymore. So we keep those little ends in this Tupperware. And then what you can do is you can grate those up and make it into liquid hand soap, So in this little pump bottle that again I got from my mum's house. I don't buy these. I collected it to make my own hand wash from our soap remnants, and you can make your own hand wash there to save you buying hand wash, and obviously then you're not chucking soap in the bin. My top tip is my top tip because it costs no money and is no effort, and that is using what you already have, even if it's Winnie the Pooh. So in the van, you know, it makes sense to not have crockery and cutlery that you're really precious about because it might break. So, you know, with it clattering around in the back and stuff. So all of these like plates and bowls are from my teenage years, or, you know, probably my childhood, from when we would go camping, or just from when you give a child a plastic plate. I think, you know, this one looks in really good condition, so I think maybe that was in Grandad's house when we cleared that out. So we use those to eat off. You know, it's very tempting, I know, to buy the kind of nice crockery that's made of bamboo, whatever it's made of. But if you've already got something, why not use it? Nobody's going to see it other than you, so you don't need to be embarrassed about flowery things or Winnie the Pooh. We also got a load of cutlery, again from Grandad's house, so you know it's really unfortunate that has to happen. He's moved into a care home, but it meant that we could reuse lots of his stuff rather than it just getting cleared away and put into landfill. He even had some utensils, you know, so things like spoons and a pizza cutter we found. We've only had to buy a couple of new things because he didn't have any, so like our can opener and a pair of scissors, I think, we had to buy new, and a spatula. So yeah, use what you already have, be resourceful, or you know, if you don't have something, go to a charity shop first, to save you money and to save things being left in your cupboard and not being used. So that is my number one tip. Use what you already have, and that goes for everything else in life really. Clothing, shoes, you know, and anything. If you've already got something, then use it and don't buy things unnecessarily. So I really hope you've caught some of my passion there for living in a more planet-friendly way. If you've got any questions about anything that I've mentioned, then please do write a comment, and we will reply to you as soon as we can. Let us know if you think you've got any better tips than us, or if you do any of these things, let us know and encourage the community to try them out as well. And yeah, like I said, any links, anything that I mentioned about my recipes or anything like that, I'll put in the description so you can follow those up if you want to have a go at those. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day whatever you are doing.